we got a special guest. His name is Godfrey, and he is part of Stand for Children Welfare Organization located in Tanzania. I've been wanting to talk to him for a little while now, so let's get right into it. Hey, Godfrey, how are you?
I'm very fine. How about you?
I'm doing well. So could you tell me a little bit about yourself and then your organization?
Thank you so much. First of all, my name is Godfrey Sylvester, and I am the communication officer of the Stand for Children Welfare Organization. It is a registered NGO from Tanzania, and it is registered to operate nationwide within Tanzania. We have been doing a lot of work, but mainly our focus is on the human rights, particularly the children's rights. And also, we are dedicated to fight against the gender-based violence against children and the things concerning about legal education to children, because we all know that children are the tomorrow's leaders. So we have been working with them in primary schools, secondary schools, so that to awaken them to know their rights in any way where the needs arises, that we need to create awareness even to parents about how they can help in protecting children's rights. Then we that. And we do that in form of charity and mainly charity, but we have a plan to develop some campaigns that will operate not only within the city that we will choose, but we want to have a kind of a campaign that will operate nationwide and sometimes later even regional wise and international, to just to awaken people recognition so that they can recognize their children's rights. And a good thing about us as well, we are aware about the SDGs, and we know that there are more than one SDGs that are associated in one way or the other with the children. For example, the equality education, for instance, and we have another one that is good health and well-being. We have the strong institutions. All these, we have the zero hunger and fighting diseases. All these, if you see them, they are in one or the other associating with the children welfare. So we want to partner with a certain organization so that we can develop some campaigns that will go hand in hand with SDGs, which are relating to children, so that the objective can be effective. So that's a short information about us, and we have been doing some activities. As I said before, charities, and we are on the move to develop paints as well.
That is awesome. I think sometimes we do forget that children do have rights. So I really appreciate the work you guys are doing. So, and I
Thank
noticed
you.
you guys have been around for about 6 years. Is that correct? What are some challenges that you guys have been facing?
Our NGO is a not-for-profit, so we have been facing the challenge concerning funds. As I told you before, that we are the nationwide established NGO. We are allowed to operate within Tanzania. The issue is, once we design a campaign, maybe to reach students in several regions in Tanzania, we miss financial assistance. Most of the charity activities that we have been doing are the ones that are contributed mainly by the members of the organization. So fund is a big challenge. But also, we never had a partnership with another NGO or a kind of a network so that we can join hands and operate in achieving the common goal. That's a challenge as well. It's another challenge in Tanzania, organization that we want to help children. We had experience when we went in some place in Tanzania called Mkulanga, where we wanted to help some orphans, legal education as well as charity materials. We couldn't easily get an access because of the trust. Most of the organizations which are not trustworthy tend to misuse them being an NGO, pretend like they're helping children, but after getting their pictures and stuff like that, showing that we are an organization established to help children, when the funds now starting to be considered to that organization, they are not going directly also to the beneficiaries, which are who are those children. This is a challenge. An organization that we want to help children did not give us an easy access to the children because of this behavior that is a kind of growing up, and it is also disappointing as well. The issue of trust is a challenge as well. We have developed a system that will help us to be easily recognized and being trusted by the organization that we will approach. This system is a kind of a legal-based system whereby before we do anything, in case of helping a certain organization or trying to get access to it, we have this form called consent form. We give the management of an organization to sign, and in that form, it is kind of an assurance. Anything that we are going to do, we're going to do with our organization, with our children, will not have we will not misuse anything, meaning the pictures of children's or the activity that we're going to do there. We will abide to the law of privacy and other kind of law. The organization accepts, and then we get an access to it. So in case of anything, any misuse by our organization, we are confined, and we are going to be answerable to that. So not to be answerable means we will make sure that each and every activity that we are doing concerning a certain organization or a child, we develop strict measures within our organization to make sure that there are no misuse of our children in any way.
We have terms as well, list of things that we need from them. For example, we need to make sure that you have a registration. We need to make sure that you are active. We need to make sure that you have more than a couple of directors. We need to make sure that the community is aware. But also we need to make sure that you have a good standing relationship with other organizations. And oftentimes, as you can imagine, we get a lot of emails with people saying we need funds. Yes, everybody needs funds. We need funds too, right? But we need you to abide by these rules. And so what we'll do is we'll ask them, what are some organizations you plan to work with or you plan to utilize in your projects? And a lot of organizations, believe it or not, will tell us they don't want to work with anyone. That to us is a red flag, because our whole concept is creating a platform to utilize one another. If your goal is to take funds and use for yourself, we don't want to work with you. Like I said, it's a big red flag for us, because it shows us that you don't believe in concept of community, you don't believe in teamwork, and maybe you're not trying to actually solve the problems in your community. If you have an organization around where you are and they do the same thing you do, would you not want their hand? Moving forward, what sort of organizations are you looking to connect with?
We would like to work with any organization. So the organization that are dealing with the legal aspect of it, the organization that are dealing with improving or empowering women, because we know that if you empower a woman, a mother, in one or the other will touch the welfare of a child. And also the organization that are dealing with the public health. Because if you improve the public health in one or the other, you will touch the welfare of the child. So you find that we are this organization that are ready to join hands with other organizations that are in one or the other. Their activities are so connected with the welfare of a child. So that's our mission.
I have a question for you because I've asked multiple people this question and I get different answers. Is it Tanzania, Tanzania, Tanzania?
Depends on the pronunciation of a person. But
Yeah,
if you pronounce it in Swahili, you will just call it Tanzania.
okay.
But when you meet someone from outside, we'll call it Tanzania and other kind of pronunciation. But for us
Okay.
who speak Swahili, we just call it Tanzania. Tanzania.
Tanzania. Okay. All right. All right. I
Yes.
have to ask because I get this question asked to me a lot. And sometimes I find myself going, wait a second.
But the good thing is
So,
we are so loving in a way that we won't bother of how
yeah.
you pronounce it. We know a person from outside will just come with their own accent of it. We are so loving.
Yeah.
We understand that.
Have you
Yes.
had any challenges with communities pushing back on your assistance? So I know when a lot of communities, when they think of aid, they oftentimes think of German aid or the Dutch, the Americans, right? For a lot of them, they think that is considered to be the best sort of aid and they accept that sort of aid. But I know sometimes they can be a little hesitant working with people from within the country. So have you had any difficulties with the community telling you no or that they don't want your assistance?
We are still striving for that because, as you said, that most of us in Tanzania or maybe African countries, we have this ideology that we just have to accept or we want to accept aid from the USA or rather the German and that. Uh, so even us, we were thinking of the same, but we just came back and realized that we need to accomplish our mission. And our
Mhm.
mission is nothing but helping the community. So things related to the aid, we'll just accept the aid from the other organizations as long as they are meant to help us, to assist us of helping the community. So, as a
Mhm.
Stand for Children Welfare Organization, we think that if we have this the common goal and objective of serving the community, particularly children, then there will be no any reason to for us to hesitate to work with other organizations because we know that when we unite with others and work upon achieving a common goal, we will definitely reach more children nationally, and sometimes we can even go in a regional at a regional level and even international
Mhm.
because we are having an issue about children is a big challenge. Is a big challenge in African countries, particularly Tanzania. There are children who are facing a lot of problems, and not only in the urban areas, but we think also about the remote areas in the rural areas.
Mhm.
So, joining hands with the other organization is inevitable. We
Yeah.
want that because we would like to reach almost every child in Tanzania. In the
Mhm.
document that we sent last time, there was a statement that our mission is to serve even to a point that we touch the last child in this country.
Mhm.
We are ready and we're in a position and we are ready to serve to the last child.
Mhm.
And when you look upon this statement that our activity or our mission is definitely endless. If a child is born today, if a child is born today, will be it will be our objective to save him or her. And
Yeah.
an issue, or the issue concerning children, is very relevant. We don't just plan to touch a child life, to a child who is already born. We are thinking also of having the campaigns to let people know the effects of abortion, and that trying to protect trying to protect the life of an unborn child as well. So
Mhm.
our mission is very relevant. The aspect that we have chosen to deal with is so sensitive, and
Mhm.
also very relevant. When you speak of a nation, you speak of children, in
Mhm.
fact, because they are the ones that are going to be youth, and the ones who are going to work, so that to I say to make the nation grow, and then to develop the nation as well. So in Africa, in Tanzania, children are the special group that need special care and special assistance as well. We have this problem nowadays, the issue about globalization, and we know that in one or the other, the development of science and technology, the digitalization, in one or the other affects children, particularly. I don't know about the other countries, but in our country, I see there is something to do. The issue of uh, child abuse is becoming a problem. We did not have this before, but because of the uh, development of technology, development of social media, the impact of it is that child abuse is becoming a problem in our country. We need
Mhm.
also to be flexible and focus our resources, time, and that to awaken the society that
Mhm.
we're in a world of globalization. Globalization has a very good impact in one side, but in the other side, it has an implication to the welfare of children. A lot of tendencies in our country that you find a certain child has been abused by maybe a relative, an uncle,
Mhm.
a brother, sometimes a father, even a father. We see them in the news and that. So this now is becoming a problem in our country. And I did not come across a specific organization trying to combat child abuse. So that's the area also we would like to focus on, so that to help these children. And
Mhm.
but enough, it is both. Uh, Boys and girls are being assaulted, are being sexually assaulted, and such.
Mhm. And I think that's a good point. I when I first thought about some of the needs in Africa, I looked back upon my family. I looked upon the communities that I've been a part of, and I realized that there aren't a lot of cohesive relationships that organizations have with the community or with other organizations, and so I wanted to have this platform. So let's say your organization is looking for someone who to partner with an organization who has either just started or has been in the space of community development. Maybe you may not work on a specific project, but you can contact that organization and say, hey, we want to talk about your projects, what you've accomplished, how you can help us, how we can help you. and how we can foster a cohesive partnership. Because I do know several organizations outside of Tanzania that do work in the community development, especially regarding youth development. But part of community development is health, right? Part of the community development is education. And these are all areas where we
Yes.
can all utilize each other and join hands to combat some of the same issues, because it doesn't matter if if the children are healing, right? If they're being healthy, well, they still need to get educated. So if they're not being educated, or if they're only being educated and they're not receiving health, well, they're not going to make it very
Yes.
far. So we need to find a way to bridge all of these gaps and solve problems through the community efforts. And where are you located?
Definitely. Oh, we are in Tanzania. Have you ever been in Tanzania, by the way?
I have not. No.
Okay. We are in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam,
Okay.
the main city of business. So we are located in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Okay. So I do know a few organizations that I can connect you with. And so right now, the first project that we're looking to accomplish is going to be about feminine hygiene. It's going to be in Kampala, Uganda. And so
Yes.
we're going to see how how our network works together. We've got two organizations that are going to be working together to introduce different feminine hygiene products and the pads for girls. When we finish that project, I would love to be able to work alongside you guys to accomplish a goal with another organization. I definitely want the world to know that there are organizations in Africa that are working on behalf of African communities.
So now you see that regardless of the effort that are being done by the international organization, but us as local organization have a role, a big role to play. So we don't underestimate the activities are done. We see them, and we also need to join hands so that we can accomplish our mission and to serve the society as well.
Okay, awesome. And on that same note, what are some successes that your organization has had?
Uh, I should admit that uh, we haven't undertake many projects.
Mhm.
We just have a strategic plan of executing and designing a lot of projects, but we miss funds. So from the few projects that we undertook as an organization, we managed to first to provide legal education to children in primary schools. There are almost 3 to 5 regions that uh, we attended the primary schools and secondary schools, trying to awaken the children so that they can know. We believe that children are vulnerable group. So we gave them the legal education, and where we could, we executed the charity events in almost two organizations. We solved some basic needs, and now upon getting support, upon partnership with the other organization and getting funds, we will be ready to serve even the whole country, because that's our mission.
Mhm.
So we our success, I might say, is upholding the the vision and the objective of the organization. So once we are afforded with the fund, And once we get someone to join hands with, then we will count more and more and more achievement from there.
All right. And last question. Anything that you would want other organizations, anyone that's listening to know about your organization?
First of all, we are ready to give out information about our organization, our goals, and that. So, one of our goals is to serve the children. So, the projects that we are intending to take are mainly local. We are coming we come now to the same point that because of insufficient funds, we cannot extend national-wise because we don't have a fund and even a partnership. So locally within our region, we do execute some projects, some charity events, and that. So we have a goal to serve children, both in short and long term goals.
Godfrey, thank you for joining me today. Thank you very much. And I will keep in touch with you. And I agree with you. Together, we're going to be able to make a lot of changes. And we need the help of everybody, including governments, other organizations, community leaders, and so on. So again, thank you very much. And then we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much.